All right, so let's start with the big story that we are tracking on WION this hour. The Democrats and the Republican Senate leaders have finally reached a power-sharing agreement, allowing the Democrats to take control of the committees. The Democrats have gained control over the chamber in January after they won 2 Senate seats in Georgia, splitting the Senate to be evenly divided at 50-50, with the Vice President having the deciding vote. The lack of an agreement had created complications for the Democrats. Earlier, the Republicans had refused to relinquish control without trying to get concessions from the Democrats. The Democrats and the GOP leaders have agreed to follow the 2001 agreement, which means that both parties will get an equal number of committee seats. This delayed consideration of President Joe Biden's cabinet nominees. Now the Democrats are expected to appoint their Attorney General nominee, Merrick Garland, who is expected to receive bipartisan support. The Democrats hope to hold a confirmation hearing for Merrick Garland before the start of former President Donald Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate next week. The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said that the senators are ready to hit the ground running on most important issues. All right, now to give us more updates in terms of what this power-sharing formula means, we are joined in by Kate Fisher, who is joining us live from Washington, D.C. Kate, this of course is an important breakthrough where the Democrats and the Republicans have agreed on a power-sharing formula to work in the Senate.
That's right. Legislative business, certainly from the Democrats' point of view, has been somewhat slow since they have taken the majority, which happened in January when they won those 2 seats in Georgia in the Senate runoff races in that state. That took them to having 50 senators, which equals the Republicans' 50 senators. That's an even split, but the Democrats have the narrow majority because the vice president will take the tie-break vote if such a vote were to happen. Kamala Harris, being a Democrat, means that the Democrats will win any votes that need a 51-vote majority to be passed. However, the previous session of Congress had been run by the Republicans, so before the Democrats could get on with their business, they needed to organize this new formula, this new way of operating the Senate under the new Democratic majority. There were some tussles, some power tussles between Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Republicans, and Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Democrats, and it took a couple of weeks for those to be ironed out. They have now reached an agreement which they are both happy with. It is, as you said, modelled on the last time the Senate was split so evenly.
Right.
It does mean that the Democrats, as Chuck Schumer said today, will now be able to govern with the gavel.
Now, for people who are watching all of this from the outside of the United States, what does this power-sharing formula mean for the trial that will be conducted in the Senate for Donald Trump's impeachment?
Well, it won't have any effect on the upcoming impeachment trial. Other than that, Joe Biden, the president, is hoping to get as many members of his cabinet confirmed before that trial begins next week. And this delay in organising a power-sharing agreement had meant that there had been several delays to the confirmation hearings of his cabinet choices. Now that that's all been sorted out, Democrats will be hoping that that can be speeded up and they can get confirmed ahead of the beginning of the impeachment trial. Merrick Garland, you mentioned his pick for Attorney General. Democrats had been told by Lindsey Graham, the Republican who runs the Senate Judiciary Committee, that his confirmation hearing couldn't be heard before the impeachment trial. Now that they have this the power back with them, they're hoping that that can be done ahead of the trial. But as for the trial itself, that is up to each individual senator to make their decision about whether they want to convict Donald Trump of these impeachment charges or not. And the balance of power when it comes to legislative votes will not affect that impeachment trial.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Kate Fisher, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.